तं देशिकेन्द्रं परमं पवित्रं विश्वस्य पारं मधुरं यतीन्द्रं हिताय नृणां नरमूर्तिमन्तं विवेकानन्दमहं नमामि. My salutations to Vivekananda, who is the source of teachership for the whole world, and he is actually a divine being appearing as in human form for our benefit. Dear friends, I am very happy Yes, please raise your hands if you are not able to hear properly. If it cannot be increased here, I will try to increase it here. Is it okay?
Yes.
Very good. So, this was very hurriedly arranged program, and I really thank those who took the trouble of quickly organizing it. Just about 4 days ago, as we were traveling in Almoda and the nearby places, sanctified by the presence of Swami Yogatmananda, first in 1892, and then later, after his return from America, he again had visited Almoda. So, as we were touring that places, the idea was given to Mr. Krishnamurti by one of our senior Swamis in Kankat. And then he asked me, "Do you have time then?" I said, "Well, for the students, I always have time. It is one of the most important works that Ramakrishna Mission undertakes, that to take these thoughts to the young minds, because it is the young minds who can actually implement those great ideas. You need the strength of youth, also the mental enthusiasm for it. It is only during the young age that we can work on this. There is a very beautiful hymn by great Bhartrihari, that why should it be done in the young age? That it is where we still have strength of youth, we still have the life left to spend for great cause. As long as there is still the possibility of doing something great, we should apply our wholehearted effort to do the right thing. When the body becomes old, when already the sun is at the western horizon, you know what happens after that. So, when the sun is already on the western horizon, now you suddenly think that, oh, let me make good use of life. What is left of life then? So, he compares it that one man had been thinking, that let me have a well in my compound. Olden times, when there were no these fire stations. So he was thinking that there is a fire at my home and there should be a source of water readily available to put that fire down. But he kept on postponing. And then one day the house was on fire. Then he said, "Oh, let me start digging the well." no use digging the well then. So therefore it is important that we start at young age to achieve the goal of life. The life should have goal. It is a very important thing to think of it at young age, that what is the goal of my life. I like to address the students and young minds, but I especially become happy when I go to speak in some engineering college, some great institution which provides technical education, and this is of course Bharatiya Pradyogiki Samsthan, the world-renowned organization IIT. Even in United States, when somebody, a student, is approaching for an admission for an American university, when that student is from IIT, then the person is looked upon with great respect. And there is of course the validity, the reason for this, that the hard work that has been put in to build these institutions with a practical applied approach to knowledge. The knowledge is there, but if it is not applied, if it is sitting idle in the brain, it's no use. It has to be applied. And the minds of the students who come to study in technical institutes, it is already they are thinking in that term, to apply the knowledge. Knowledge and the use of that knowledge is to be made. So this is how Vedanta is. It is an applied science. And in applied science, what do? You of course have a theory. But that theory is converted into something that is practically usable for enhancing the joy of our life, enhancing the quality of life. That is very important, to convert these things from a plain, pure theoretical understanding to make it usable, make it practically applicable in all different walks of life. And this is done by human beings. That is why human being has changed to, over the thousands of years. You see how much human beings have changed by using the applied knowledge. The knowledge is put to use. That is why it is, I give this example at many places, that in this whole hall, you will not find even a single thing that has come to you directly from nature. Everything that you are seeing in this hall, you can see thousands of years of research and this applied technologies into making it possible. See this simple water bottle. Everybody uses such water bottle. Imagine, this plastic. It is not coming from directly from the nature. The water you can get from the nature. Yes, but this container, this plastic, this material, see how much research has gone into making this plastic. So much of chemical engineering, mechanical engineering. Imagine, that how much it is, that so that you can buy it for a few rupees. So imagine the amount of hard work that has gone into it that makes us use it. Even say your little pen. Uh, you buy it for a few rupees, but see the body of the pen. It takes a lot of research, engineering to even to make that material. Then the paint with which it is painted. It is very now. It is very common minor thing. You buy it for a few rupees, but think of that little metal ball, which just a little pressure pushes it inside and lets the little ink out so that you can write with it. It is over the decades it has become so much better and better. I remember it was an ordeal to write with the ball pen in my childhood. They were not so good. The balls were not that fine. So, but now all this is technological advancement, and that certifies, that proves that human beings have the capability of using the knowledge, building on the previous knowledge, and converting it into something that enhances our lifestyle, the way we are living. It is no other creature has done it. Many other creatures are there who have been on the earth far, far before human beings, like cockroaches, cockroaches, mice, and all. They had lived here, say, millions of years before human beings made their this advent on this earth. But they have living just as they were living 2 million years ago, 200 million years ago. They have not changed much. Imagine a human being living in cave in a forest, somehow using stones to do some hunting, and then eat the raw meat, somehow survive. That very human being. Look at the descendants of such human beings now. Look, we are living in such beautiful buildings, having such great institutions of learning. Imagine, compare that human being in a cave with somebody living in New York, in Manhattan, in Empire State Building. Compare, how big the difference. And what made this difference? The basic thing there is to convert the learning by our sense organs and mind. There is the learning, and then that learning is now applied, put there. I am not going to spend much time on this, but it is a great idea to think about that it is a human excellence. So here I will pay more attention to Swami Vivekananda's thoughts about the practically what ails us now, or has been ailing human beings for a long time, and which is so important to make our life happy. Do we not want to make our lives happy? What do you think? Our life should be miserable or happy? Happy, no brainer, everybody can tell that it is, we want to be happy. And then, therefore, again, if we use our brains, we should therefore go to the source of happiness. Isn't it practical? If we want happiness, then we must go to the source of happiness. That we do normally in our day-to-day life. I was giving this example there in Almora to a school class. So that if you want potato, then you go to a grocery shop that sells potatoes. You do not go to a boutique uh, for getting for buying potatoes. They are not available there. That shop is not meant for that. So, therefore, if we want to be happy, all of us have clearly declared that we want to be happy. So, one should pay now attention to where the happiness lies. And then go there. It is true that at present the state that we are in is far from being happy. The great Buddha has analyzed this question to the greatest length and has thus come to a great conclusion. You probably, I'm sure you know, that the religion of Buddha is based on these four noble truths. And the first of it is the noble truth of suffering. Dukkha ariya satyam. So, this dukkha, the misery, is there filling the whole world. We are all suffering. Birth is suffering, growth is suffering, trying to sustain our life, that is suffering. And this suffering is everywhere. There is no end to it. The second of these noble truths is that yes, there is a cause of suffering. Why? This is very important, because if there is a cause for something, then if we remove the cause, then that thing will go away. That it is, now I was talking to a doctor yesterday and today too about various these pains I am getting in my legs and back. So there were some x-rays and examinations and that. And the cause, what is the cause of all these pains? Old age. So there is no cure for it. The old age. Therefore, there is nothing can be done about it. It is, had there been a diagnosis that this is a problem that can be solved, it was easy. But about suffering, there is a cause. And there is the removal of that cause also is possible. That is the third noble truth. There is, and the fourth is, there is a practical way to do it. So, this is how one can get over suffering in life and become happy. In Vedanta, we don't pay so much emphasis on suffering, but we pay more attention on our intrinsic happiness. The same truth, but then presented in a different way, so that it becomes more understandable and practically applicable. So, it is, yes, there is suffering, but still we crave for happiness. So there must be a source of happiness that is to be discovered. So, and this is possible. When I was a college student like you, I used to think about it that and happened to read a small book of Swami Yogatmananda. That book is still available, a very beautiful book, Practical Vedanta. Practical Vedanta. And just on the second page of it, I still remember having read that so clearly, because it had such a big impact on my life, that there has to be a goal for every person. Human beings, they act for a purpose, not randomly or instinctively acting. The other creatures, they are instinctive in their actions. Their actions are not deliberated but are instinctive. For example, if a cat, just imagine a picture in front of your mind, that a cat sees a mouse, then what is the cat? Does the cat need more thinking? No, just pounce on that little thing and gobble it. It doesn't need more thinking about it, no deliberation on it. Oh, should I kill the mouse or not? Should I be non-violent? No such thought, there is no need for it. That is an instinctive life. But human beings think, should I do it? The objective is there, that I want to act according to the objective, directed to that objective. Human life therefore is compared to a journey. Like there is in your journey, you have GPS, that you put your destination, where you want to go, and then the GPS guides you. Take left here, go 27 kilometers, then do like this, and then you arrive, it declares that also you have arrived. So our human beings, we act like that. This is the purpose of this action, and this I will be going like that. So this is how we should think of the purpose of the whole life. What my life is for. My life is to become, my goal is to become happy. If I am happy, how much happiness do you want? Can you quantify it? That I want 10 kilograms of happiness. Is there a limit? How much happiness you want? You would say infinite happiness. The whole, my life should be permeated just by happiness. And how to do it? Where is it? Is it possible that, after that, reading that line, that each of us must have a goal in life. Swami Vivekananda says that. And then I was thinking, what should be the goal? We have some friends, and then we decided there was Ramakrishna Mutt there, and we decided, let's go and ask the Swami there that what should be the goal of life. And the Swami knew us as the students of science and mathematics and so forth. So he said, first think of the definition of goal. Think of what is the definition of this word goal, and then you will be able to see what should be the goal of life. Think of the definition of goal of life. And as we were scratching our head, he suggested the answer. That getting which nothing more is wanted, the life is fulfilled. Getting which nothing else is wanted. That is to be called as goal of life. If getting what you call goal of life, after that something is still left, then that's something left should be called the goal of life. The goal of life is that where all our wants are fulfilled. Nothing more remains to be achieved. There is nothing greater than that. So this is a very important idea. What is that getting which nothing is left to be achieved? We want happiness, highest happiness. And that happiness should be always with us. See, our present idea of happiness is dependent on an object. That suppose, for example, somebody may become happy by having some ice cream. Do you guys eat ice cream? Yeah. So you may feel that if I get ice cream, I will be happy. Okay. You go and get ice cream, and then again your mind keeps on, wavering. Should I choose this flavor or that flavor or that flavor? Not very clear idea. So you choose, okay, this flavor will make me happy. And how much that happiness you get? Almost nothing. The ice cream, they start somewhere as you put the mouth here, it in the mouth, and as it goes down, the taste is gone. Eat the ice cream, the taste is last only for that time. Afterwards, the guts have to do the hard work. You see, it is that is the joy that you get from eating ice cream, and then you may even rule the fact, oh, that wasn't that good after all. It is. So, moreover, if you think that the ice cream has happiness, then say one scoop of ice cream gives you some happiness. 2 scoops should have given you twice the happiness. Does that happen? No, 1 scoop, second scoop you may say no, enough, but you may take it. You take 1 more scoop, you will get 3 times happiness. No, somebody will have to hold a pistol at your head to make you eat the 3rd scoop. It is. So you can easily conclude, as the brilliant students of the best technological institute here, that ice cream doesn't have happiness. Can you easily conclude that or not? Now one has to stick to the conclusion and generalize further. The all knowledge, if you see, our all method of knowledge is what? Analyzing and generalizing. You analyze and then generalize. That makes the law of science. That becomes the law. So therefore, you see, you tried one thing which applies now to all things that we go after for happiness. Sometimes you have, for example, I become happy if, say, the Indian team wins some cricket match. Then what? I was hearing the crackers bursting and all that. So it is, they must win the match for me to become happy, isn't it? What an idea. So my happiness is not in my hands. Those people should play good. Not only that, the opponent should play bad. And then only I can become happy. So my happiness is not under my control at all. So you can see this, that thus the life will not be happy if we place happiness in some object or in some person. That, oh, my happiness, I am happy today because my spouse was saying good things about me. So if that is the reason for being happy, you are not in good, you may not get happiness always. And even if you get, there is something more that is coming to be paid for it, you see. So therefore, that is not the way to become happy. So you can draw this conclusion that happiness is in none of these things that we see. So where is it? It is right within you. Even when when you were eating ice cream, where was the joy coming from? The ice cream was just an indicator. but the joy was always coming from within. So that is how it is. The source of joy, you see, is you yourself. Your true nature is the source of happiness. You are happy actually. The happiness is your nature. That is what our scriptures say, and you can experience it. That no other object or even objective can bring happiness in our life, because we are happiness itself. And do you need to add something to sugar to make that sugar sweet? Think about it. What do you add to sugar? I want to make the sugar sweet. Do you add something to it? Sugar by nature is sweet. To make other things sweet, you add sugar to it. But sugar, you don't need to add anything to make it sweet. So it is, therefore, we are happiness itself. There is, the saint like Kabir, that he says that, well, it is our craving for happiness is like pani mein meen pyasi. In water, that fish is in water, and if the fish starts feeling thirsty, what will it do? If I feel thirsty, I take this water and... But what should be the fish doing if the fish becomes thirsty? No, dear, the fish cannot become thirsty like us. So our feeling, I want happiness, is only a stupidity. I don't need to search for happiness. My true nature is happiness. It is, my true nature is to be experienced, and it is in me. And let us believe that. Swami Yogatmananda gave this fourfold formula about what is called spiritual life. In passing, let me make a comment about the picture, that fourfold thing that was shown here, that our objective is the growth, like physical, mental, intellectual and spiritual. It is shown there as if there are four different things. I would suggest a suggestion. I would suggest that, well, actually spiritual growth is not a particular separate thing. It is the background of everything. Like you are, say, in a movie, there are three people are there, and you are seeing three people, but are you not seeing the screen? Will you call it as four things? This person, this person, this person, and screen. Is it fourth? No, it is the screen, is the background of everything. And everything changes, the screen doesn't change. So this spiritual growth is not a fourth thing. It is the support. It is the unchanging reality of everything. So it is the foundation for all other kinds of growth. Yes, we need physical strength. We need mental strength. We need intellectual capabilities. All of that is needed. But spiritual, it is not something that is fourth, that is to be cultivated. While cultivating all these things, the spiritual growth, to remind yourself, what is it? That I am divine. I am divine. That is the great formula given by Swami Yogatmananda. It comes in his book in Raja Yoga, that each soul is potentially divine. Each soul. Everybody is being addressed there. Each soul. So each of us should tell oneself, I am divine. I am divine. Please, friends, say loudly, I am divine.
I am divine. I am divine.
Yes, friends, it is something that we must hold on to. I am divine means I am happiness itself. I am like this, that say in Vedanta, what is divine? That it is Sat Chit Ananda. I am existence itself, Sat. I am Chit, knowledge itself. And I am bliss itself, Ananda, Sat Chit Ananda. I am that. This is, something practically we can achieve it. That there is a story that Swami Yogatmananda has told many times, that look, one boy went to school of those days, and after coming back, having received a degree, comes back home, and the father of that boy sees, and this story comes in Chandogya Upanishad, that the father sees that this boy has become arrogant. Is it the result of the education? It should not be. The person should be more humble. We have the saying that Vidya Vinayena Shobhate, that the learning becomes, really valid, and it becomes beautiful when the person who has learned becomes more humble by that. So, but this father says that the boy has become arrogant, thinks that he knows everything, and just because having graduated from IIT, I'm just saying it is not that, it is, but whatever education institute he went to, and then has come back arrogant, I know everything. So the father asked him some questions, and then the boy confessed, no, I don't know these things. And the father said, look, that actually you have to learn this. You are divine. And the boy was in disbelief. What do you mean? I am just this little body. I am your son. I am struggling. And you say I am divine. I don't believe that. Yes, you don't believe, but see, get a fruit. There was a tree, and a fruit was lying there, a huge banyan-like tree, and a fruit had fallen from the tree. He said, go and get that fruit. The boy goes and gets that fruit, and this is hands-on education, So, tells the boy, now you break that fruit. The boy broke that fruit. What is inside? Well, I see some seeds there. Okay, take one of them and break it. Okay, what do you see in that? Well, I don't see any particular thing, some powdery particles. Okay, so that powdery particle, which is very difficult even for you to discern, to see, don't you believe that whole tree, huge gigantic tree, has come from this? So he says ultimately, Shraddha Swaswanya, have faith in yourself, that although you feel you are just little, but from that seed, this whole gigantic tree has come. So have this faith in yourself. And this faith, in oneself is the most important thing in life. By that we can then make this divinity manifest. Each soul is potentially divine, but that potential is to be manifested. Then only it makes sense. If it is not manifested, then it doesn't make any sense. So we have to see that how to manifest it. That is, Vivekananda says there, the goal is to manifest that divinity. And how to do it? By controlling. These are a bit difficult words to understand. I will give that responsibility to each of you because we don't have that much time. That yes, you have to study further that how to do that. That is what is called yoga. That comes in the third of this aphorism. There are these 4 aphorisms that you can do this, that by the actions, means the karma yoga, the bhakti yoga, jnana yoga and raja yoga. So I will tell very briefly the idea behind these 4 yogas. The yoga is, what does it mean? A yoga is sometimes just identified, I do yoga. I means do certain physical postures and all that, which is good for health, but that is not it is only a very tiny part of the whole great system of yoga. Yoga means being practical, bridging the gap between what you theoretically understand and what you practically experience. You can be, read, say, read a book on how to play some musical instrument. Say, for example, how to play tabla. Reading that book may require 1 day, 2 days, that's it. Reading the book, will that alone make you a wonderful tabla player? You will again immediately become Zakir Hussain? No. What it requires? Practice. Means intensely putting yourself into that discipline whereby that which you understand becomes now your experience. That is conversion of understanding into tangible practical experience. That is yoga. This is how yoga has been defined in Upanishads as well as Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, all the chapters have the name yoga, but in none of them there is any description of various physical exercises and postures. Not at all. In Upanishads like Kathopanishad, there is this yoga word comes very often. But it doesn't mean there that you do certain, stand on your head instead of standing on legs, stand on your head. All those are good things. I mean, please don't misunderstand me. It is good for a purpose, but it is a very small part of the whole yoga philosophy. Yoga means to convert our intellectual understanding to practical experience. So this is what we have to do, the directed action towards the goal. Just as a GPS would take us. So this is described, this yoga is described in Kathopanishad by giving the analogy of a journey, exactly like we following the GPS. I don't want to get into that right now because I am looking at the clock also. So it is very important, friends, to imbibe this idea that we have to practice these yogas. They are, Swami Vivekananda categorized them into these 4 different parts, like developing, exactly like, to some extent, what you explained as the goal of the Vivekananda Study Circle PSC, that physical, yes, you have to give emphasis on your physical activity directed towards this goal. It is like your car has four wheels. All the four wheels should synchronously go in the same direction. If two wheels want to go to east and other two wheels want to go to west, the car will be in doldrums. So your journey will be gone. So similarly, these hands, our body, our heart, our feelings, and our head, our understanding must move together, as it were, well synchronized towards the goal. They become, they get these names, that Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. They are development of your activity. Yes, work. One must work. And never shun work. Never become idle. We must work. And learning to work properly is an art, friends. We all work, but we do not work properly. It is the working towards the goal. Means work without, this is very difficult, but work without selfishness and work with detachment. Don't get attached. That it is very important to learn to work. You should work, but let not the work catch you. Don't get attached to it. That is the great message of Bhagavad Gita. Work, but then be aloof. It is a great idea. It should be like the switch, the electric switch that you have. When you put it on, it is fully connected, and you get all these appliances, electric appliances running. When the work is over, then you flip the switch, turn it off. Immediately everything stops. So when we are going to work, fully put yourself into work, 100%. And as the work is done, get out of it. Our biggest problem, biggest misery comes because we are not able to detach ourselves. We get caught in it. It is like somebody went to, hunt a tiger. But then the tiger instead got hunted by the tiger. So that becomes our case. We went to do the work, but we were gobbled by the work. It is a very difficult thing, but we can do this by practice. Learn to work in a detached manner. That is the way that is told how your actions are to be directed. It is not that it is impossible, that to let the work go. No, you will have to do the work. But work with detachment. Full attachment and full detachment. Both should be there. So then the second part is development of our feelings. We love, now that direct the love to God, your true nature, the self. With Vedanta, the God is not an external something, but it is our own self. God is here, not there somewhere. The proof of God, therefore, there is a very beautiful Christian theologian's treatise given as a response to the attack of the scientific atheists of great repute, that they question the existence of God. And then this Christian theologian, his name is David, I'm forgetting the name, you can find it out. These days, this Gemini or ChatGPT can give you all answers. It is sometimes said that if you ask, oh God, do you know this? God said, yes, let me consult Google and then I will tell you. So it is. So it's so that his name is, now it came to me, David Bentley Hart. So he has given the name to his book that refutes these attacks of the atheists, that the God equal to Satchidananda. That cannot be refuted. God sitting somewhere in some heaven up there, that God can be disputed. You can say that such a God doesn't exist. But this God you can never disprove because it is your reality. So, as Satchidananda, so that convert now all love to that instead of loving the fleeting objects, unreal things that appear and disappear. If you direct your love to those, the love doesn't last, because both the lover and the loved are constantly changing, and therefore how can your love find the satisfaction? All of us say that I want to find the love of my life and go to this person and that person and that person. That love cannot basically last, Just as a little baby likes, these toys and the dolls and all that. How long does that love last? The baby becomes 6, 7, 8 years old and the toys are all gone. In fact, the toy, the little child plays for 2 hours and that's gone. The love is not there anymore. So, as we grow older, our toys just become different. But the nature of that love remains more or less same. Very temporary and fleeting. Moreover, that is not even real love, because that love, as you can understand, just gives, does not demand. That our love, that is most misused word. I love you. No, it is, how can you ever love somebody? No, it is it is full of demands. I love you if you do like this. So there is, what is love there then? It is not possible to love like that. You can love only God, and then you can love everything, because everything is manifestation of God. But first love that substance. Learn to love that. Learn to love real. What would you prefer, to love real or unreal? Obvious, the answer is obvious. What would you take if I give you, say, 1 million rupees in fake notes, and say a 10 rupee real note? What will you take? Real something over that fake. Who is going to have that trash, So it is, we want real something. So what is real? Think of that, friends, and love that. That according to the Hindu or Vedanta theology, that reality is God alone, who is your true nature. That cannot be removed. That is always there. As the great teacher of Vedanta, Shankaracharya, mentions, that to say that I don't exist also requires an I. I say that you certify I by saying that I don't exist. So it is something that cannot be removed. There is a story of a little child who went to see a fair, and then lot of parents were there, and then as it happens, the boy could not find the parents. They went in one direction, but the little child went in another direction, and after that the child started crying, he is not able to see the parents. And then a kind-hearted gentleman saw and then started patting the child on the back. "Oh child, are you lost?" The child wipes his eyes and says, "No, no, I am here. They are lost." You see. They are lost. I never get lost. That is the reality, friends. It is therefore love, that reality. And thus you will find your love. That is called bhakti, turning the love. Love we all have, but it is misdirected. Once it so happened, that incident happened in Nagpur. We used to have that, it still is there, a tank, overhead tank, and a well was there, and every time that the water is over, we would go and push the machine, the motor, and then the pump will put the water in the tank. So that used to be the practice. One day the motor was, that switch was put on, the motor was running, we thought that the pump is running, no water was going in the tank while the motor was still running. So we were not very well equipped to handle these things, so we called a mechanic. The mechanic came and in 1 minute fixed the problem. Hey, what had happened? No, there was that, polarity was changed, positive, negative. So it was changed, and therefore the motor was running but in the reverse direction. It is not now able to pull the water up. So it was just wastage of energy. The motor was becoming hot and hot. No work was getting done. So our loving something unreal is like that. We are wasting our great power of love. It is to be just, this problem can be solved very simply. Love that which is real. And then everything gets loved. And other things are fleeting objects, that say if there is a shadow of this bottle here. It is hazy because of this lighting system, the shadow is hazy. But if you try to catch the shadow, you will never be able to catch. There is a way of catching the shadow. Catch the bottle, and then the shadow also gets caught, you see. So that is how we have to, if we catch the real, all the unreal also gets caught. If you love God, then through that you can love everyone. That is why you become a saint then. A saint never hates anybody, because all are just manifestations of that God. So that is a very important thing. Therefore Jesus says a great statement: you first seek the kingdom of heaven, everything else shall be added unto it. That it is, first see that which is real, and all its manifestations will be then yours. So this is called the yoga of bhakti. Then there is the yoga of knowledge, that the faculty of discernment, that what is real and what is not real, what is permanent and what is impermanent. Try to discern that and hold on to that which is permanent, that which is real, and give up the attachment for everything else. That is the yoga of knowledge. And then the fourth yoga that Vivekananda speaks of is Raja Yoga. That is learning to control our body and mind and thereby increase the concentration. That it is a problem for everybody, not only while meditating but even studying. That you sit for studies, the mind starts going all over, and therefore we require such a long time to study. Actually, I was telling, and that is true. If you can concentrate your mind, then it won't take so much time for studies. All these 4 or 5 years of course you can do in 1 year at most. 6 months would be enough actually. So it is because of you get the control on your body and your mind. And to develop that, that is called Raja Yoga. With the body and mind, it is your machine, your machine. Uh, it is the body and the brain, of course, part of the body. It is hardware, and the mind is the software that runs it. So it is. This is your machine. The machine, if your machine you are not able to control, then what is the use of it? So therefore, learning to control this machine is called Raja Yoga. So this is the practical way, the active and actionful way of getting that self-confidence. As you practice, more and more self-confidence will come to you. The depression, I'm nobody, that will all go away. You by actually practicing, you get that self-confidence. It is never feel shy about acting, and never feel diffident about it. I read a very nice story about a suggestion given to a salesperson that they feel always the fear of rejection. If I go and they will tell me, oh, that your product is useless. No, we don't want it. Get out and all that. So the advice given to that person is, okay, where are you right now? I am on the street. If you are rejected, where will you be? Again back on the road. Nothing is lost, Nothing is lost. So make effort without fear. Fear is the worst of our enemies. We die before the death comes by fear. So therefore don't get scared. Don't lose any opportunity. With full confidence, go ahead. And as you go ahead, your confidence will increase. Don't lose an opportunity. That okay, let me go, let me give it a try, and you will succeed. Swami Yogatmananda's Karma Yoga book, a small book, there in the first chapter, he gives that how the working will build the self-confidence. Go and try, and then you will succeed. And nothing succeeds like success. So you will get success. That is how the work is. If you try properly, you will succeed. And even if you fail, it is you have not failed. You have learned how to do the work. So use that. I saw a very nice cartoon, that a man who was sitting, very depressed. All these boxes were put there. Failure. Another man was shown. There were all the boxes of failure, but he has put them like a ladder, a step ladder. And then the last part of it was success. Failure. It's climbing, and then you reach the success. Don't get worried about failures. And nobody learns without failure. I have never seen a child learning to walk without falling down. Because every time the child falls down, from feet, these sensors, they send the signal to the brain that this is not the proper way of putting the foot. The child gradually learns like that the child has to fall to learn to walk. So don't get worried about failures. That failures are, put the path to success. So it is, and let us be confident about it. And I can tell you from my experience that it works. You will become more and more aware of your inner divinity. I am divine. What you proudly announce, that will become your experience. So let us work for that. I have, I'm very happy and thankful for all the organizers to arrange this meeting with the youngsters, with the great students of this country. So, and with all the best wishes to you, I conclude my talk here. Do they have questions?
Yeah, so we have a couple of minutes, so if you have any questions, you can ask. I'll quickly ask my question.
Yes.
So you mentioned this self-confidence building, so action. Can you, having people like you here every day is not possible, so we can reiterate. What is it that somebody can do, a couple of things, one or two things, short things, long things, every day to reiterate and keep that idea alive?
Yes, very good question, that you can take up one statement of Swami Yogatmananda. Every day, one statement. And then try to think about it. Try to see how you can put it into practice. Like one very well-known statement. The one who lives for others alone lives. One who lives for others alone lives. Others are just corpses. So, more dead than alive. So this one statement, you can think of it for the day. Every day take up one statement like that, and keep it reverberating all the time in your brain, and then try to put it, okay, let me do some act as to help others. It is very important to see that without any selfish interest and without any attachment, let me do this work. So gradually one can do that it is, tell yourself again and again one day that yes, the goal is to realize my divinity. Okay, that is a great statement. Work on that. A whole day let it reverberate with you. Yeah, that is, we can certainly do such things. Thank you, nice question.
Namaste. मेरा नाम आनंद है. Actually, my question is that if a work is not completed, means I'm trying to do the work and I just not complete the work. So how to get back to another thing that this work is not complete, I have to go and again come back and complete the work. So this feeling, how to?
Yes, we have to complete the work and keep on working as long as it is completed. It is, don't leave it like that. I have to complete it. That's a great idea, that I have to complete it. And work at it. That is why Vivekananda has said that great statement, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached, Have the patience. Have the patience and perseverance. With patience and perseverance, you will not stop till the goal is reached. If it is not reached, you can take a break and start again. It is just as in a long journey, one of our Swamis is driving, is going long distance. So he will be here in Kankhar, our ashrama in Kankhar this evening. So what he does, he takes breaks. The now long 10 hours of driving is done. So let us take a break and start. Where from? Not again going back, but where you had left, So that is how the work will get completed. It is in olden times when the computer didn't have that, it couldn't save the work on its own. You have to delete that, make sure that you have saved it and then close the computer. So it is wherever you are from that point, after taking a break, again getting refreshed, You work again. Hmm. Yeah.
Swamiji, namaskar.
Namaskar.
Thank you so much for putting everything so beautifully. I really enjoyed your sense of humor, by the way.
Oh,
Really
wow.
good talk. Before I ask my question, I would like to share a very brief experience. So, I love to play lawn tennis. So, I like to play lawn tennis. And once I had a very small knee injury. So, I went to the doctor with an X-ray, and doctor said you have a serious problem. So, I was really sad the very first half. So I thought of doing an MRI. I had an MRI and I went to a different doctor. The doctor said, no, it's just a minor ligament injury. You will be okay. You can play maybe after 1 month later. Even though I was going through the same pain throughout the day, but the second half of the day I was very happy. So thank you so much for putting things, how do we define happiness? This is within ourselves. So with this context, I would like to ask, you also mentioned about the real things, right? So, from the engineering perspective, we live in a complex world. So, real is also important, and we also have to deal with the imaginary component. So, the dilemma here is how much weightage we have to give to the real part while maintaining the balance in the imaginary aspects. Because I can't just ignore the imaginary aspect. I'm sure you understand what I'm trying to say. So, please put your insight, and I would be happy to.
Well, thank you for the question. This is one of the very frequently asked questions. That, okay, how to balance our dealings in the world, our work in the world, and our paying attention to that which is real. As I was studying, what is the imaginary is the shadow of the real. So, if you catch the real, the shadows also will get God. So you will not lose anything, friends. Many have this worry. If I pay attention to this goal of life, then everything in the world I will lose. I guarantee you, you will not lose anything. You will catch everything in a much better way. Yesterday a similar question was being asked by somebody that how I can do works in the world, pay people their payments and all that and still be spiritual. The answer is you are doing all those works. Remember those people that you are working with or the objects that you are working with. They are manifestations of yourself. Yourself is manifesting in all that. Don't shun any work, but keep this attitude in behind all these actions. That is how Ishavasyopanishad describes it. That it is tena tyaktena bhunditha. And then there is no other way to human beings but to work in this particular manner. That you are working. Now try to see the reality behind working. And you actually do that. What do you do when you are seeing a movie in a theater and then in that movie you see a big fire? Do you run out and call the fire service? No, you know that it is because you are seeing the screen also. While seeing the fire, you are seeing the screen as well. So similarly, while doing all these works, try to see the reality. That it is a screen. This is a big movie that we are having here going on. They pass, these things come and go. Isn't it our experience? Are you the same person that you were when you were 1 month old? Certainly not. That photograph taken when you were 1 month old, can you put that photograph on your driving license now? No, obviously not. It is because that shameless, that is called real, it is materials. So just think of that, keep on thinking of that, your work will be better, and then that work will be your what is called sadhana, spiritual practice.
Thank you so much.
Namaskar, Swami. I have one question. There are some people in our lives, we meet them, sometimes our ideologies don't match, sometimes like they are detrimental to our group. And as you mentioned that everybody, each one of us are manifestation of God. So how do we see God in them? Since we all have a very ideal image of God, is there some very ideal way of dealing in such situations? How do we behave, or is it as simple as just distance yourself from them? How do we do
Oh, yeah,
this?
again a very good question that is very often asked. That I have to deal with everything in the world. How, thinking that it is God, how can I do the work? If I come across some violent person, how should now I approach that violent person just by seeing the God there? Sri Ramakrishna used to tell a very commonly told story that one man heard from the teacher is that everything is God. So as the person was going back walking, he saw a mad elephant, and the mahout on that elephant was shouting to the top of his voice, "Get away, get away! This is a mad elephant." And this man thought, just now I heard that everything is God, so this elephant is God. Why should I run away? And the result was, you can imagine. So the elephant kicked and took that fellow in its trunk, threw away. Then very badly bruised, he came back to the teacher. "Look, what you taught, and that is what the result of your teachings. I tried to follow your teachings." The teacher calmly said, "I didn't say that only elephant has God, everything has God. That mahout was shouting from the top to get away. Why did you not listen to the God in the form of mahout?" So that is, how we should see that there is God in everything. But the manifestation of God could be different. Some forms of God are to be better to be saluted from a distance. No, yeah. Not that you have to hug every form of God. No, don't try to do that. So that is how you should approach. But don't get angry, because that will upset you more. When you get angry, then you are hurting yourself more. The person that you get upset with doesn't get hurt by your anger, but the one who gets angry gets hurt. So don't get angry, but do not go deliberately to some person who has evil intentions. It is God. Yeah. Thank you very much.
प्रणाम गुरु जी। मेरा नाम नरेश पांडे है। मेरा क्वेश्चन था कि you said that like the best form of action is the one taken for others, right? Sometimes it translates into conformity to social norms. So for example, if the people around me wants me to become, let's say, successful, and their definition of successful might be more materialistic, let's say, in that case my goal would, if my goal becomes that, technically it is not a goal in itself, like going by your definition. So how would I make the balance of working for others at the same time not conforming to social norms?
See, working for others does not mean dancing to the whims of others. Every person will have various different whims. Are you going to dance to the tunes of all of them? See, you can never satisfy everybody in the world. It is an impossibility. Don't try for any impossibility. That you try to manifest the divinity in you, and then that will automatically make you do everything for others. For example, when you see that oneness in things, your attitude becomes very different. Like wherever you see oneness, your left hand, does it ever quarrel with your right hand? Does it become jealous of the other hand? Do the hands say that we work and this mouth alone eats, we are not going to feed the mouth? There is no such thing at all, cannot be imagined, because there is this feeling of oneness. Now, as you see the same self in all, the self is the same, like this container, this bottle is different from this, but the water is same. So each person is different, each thing is different in appearance, in content it is the same. Appearance changes. So therefore, when you love your true nature, the self, through that you love everybody automatically. Loving everybody does not mean doing whatever everybody is telling you. And this is a confusion that happens, that everybody will say all different things according to their ideas. One should never succumb to those things. Whatever is right, whatever you see as right, do it. It doesn't matter then whether somebody's feelings are hurt because of that. Because if you try to, fulfill or satisfy the feelings of somebody, you may be hurting the feelings of somebody else. In the world, you cannot make everybody happy at all. Even one person you cannot make happy all the time. So that is why do not try for that impossibility. That see the God that is your nature, and then you automatically will love and cooperate with others. Thank you.
Swamiji.
Okay. Oh my goodness, I thought that. Okay, please go
एक
ahead.
और प्रश्न है। मैं ये पूछना चाहता था कि जैसे अभी हमने जैसे कभी आपने जैसे बात किया कि our nature is divinity, तो मैं ये पूछना चाहता था कि if our nature is divinity really, then why do we need to reiterate it?
Hey, that is again a very good question. कि जब हम भगवत स्वरूप हैं ही, चूंकि उसने प्रश्न हिंदी में पूछना चाहा, तो मैं क्या जवाब हिंदी में दूं या अंग्रेजी में दूं? हिंदी में दूं। अच्छा ठीक है। तो जब हम स्वरूपतः भगवान हैं ही, तो फिर उसके लिए और फिर से उसे दोहराने की या उसकी प्राप्ति की प्रचेष्टा की क्या आवश्यकता है? आवश्यकता इसलिए है कि हम उसे अनुभव नहीं कर रहे हैं। हम भगवान हैं, भगवत स्वरूप हैं, इसमें कोई संदेह नहीं। हम भगवत स्वरूप हैं ही, परंतु उसे अनुभव करना चाहिए। इसीलिए ये अनुभव करने का तरीका है। ये बताया जाता है, कहानी बताता हूँ आपको, जो कई प्रकार के धर्म ग्रंथों में आती है। श्री राम कृष्ण ने और विवेकानंद जी ने भी यह कहानी बताई है कि एक जो है शेर, उसका वो जब शेरनी गर्भवती थी तो वह एक जो भेड़ों को के ऊपर झपट पड़ी, तो किंतु वो